Now you might be thinking, Jordan, I'm young, I'm invincible, I can stay up all night, eat whatever I want, and still function. And you know what? You're right to a certain extent. You have a certain biological robustness when you're younger. But that is not an inexhaustible resource, my friends. That is like spending capital as if it were income. You see, the body keeps a record. Every late night, every processed meal, every cigarette smoked, it's all being tallied. And believe me, the bill comes due. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually, inevitably, the consequences of neglecting your health will catch up with you. This isn't just about physical health, although that's obviously crucial. We're talking about mental health too. The stress you're under, the anxiety you're pushing down, the difficult emotions you're avoiding, they all take a toll. So, what's the solution? Start prioritizing your health now. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and mental wellness are key to long-term well-being. You need to be treating your body like the temple it is, preparing it for the long game of life. Let's talk about financial mismanagement, shall we? This is a big one, folks. You see, in our 20s and 30s, it's easy to fall into the trap of instant gratification. We want it all, and we want it now. New phone? Sure. Fancy clothes? Why not? We tell ourselves we'll start saving later, that we have plenty of time. But the truth is, time is the most valuable asset you have when it comes to finances. Compound interest, my friends, is a powerful force. The earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to grow exponentially. Think of it like this. Every dollar you save and invest wisely in your 20s is like planting a tree that will bear fruit for decades to come. But if you keep putting it off, you're missing out on years of potential growth. So, what's the antidote to financial mismanagement? Create a budget, start an emergency fund, and invest early. Your future self will thank you. Remember, taking control of your finances is not about deprivation, it's about empowerment. It's about building a solid foundation for a future where you're not constantly worried about money. So, you're ignoring personal growth, are you? Coasting on the fumes of your younger self, assuming you've peaked? That's a dangerous game to play, and one that will likely leave you brittle, inflexible, and lagging behind as the world inevitably changes around you. Life is not static, it's a river constantly flowing, and you're either swimming upstream, challenging yourself, or you're being swept downstream toward the stagnant, muddy banks. Learning, engaging in self-improvement, these aren't just buzzwords for self-help gurus, they are the lifeblood of a meaningful existence. When you invest in yourself, when you actively seek out knowledge, new skills, new perspectives, you are essentially investing in your future. You're equipping yourself to face the unknown with a broader mind, a sharper intellect, and a greater sense of personal agency. Don't underestimate the power of continuous growth. It's the antidote to stagnation and the key to unlocking your full potential. You know, we are fundamentally social creatures. We evolved in tribes and groups, relying on each other for survival, for support, for meaning. To neglect your relationships, to take those closest to you for granted, is to deny yourself a fundamental aspect of the human experience. It's like trying to navigate a treacherous landscape without a map, without a compass, and without the companionship of those who know the terrain. Loneliness, isolation, these are not just abstract concepts, they have real, tangible consequences for your well-being. Strong relationships, genuine connection, these are the cornerstones of a life well lived. They provide a buffer against the inevitable chaos of existence, a source of strength in times of adversity, and a wellspring of joy that cannot be replicated elsewhere. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest in your relationships like you would invest in your own well-being because, in many ways, they are one and the same. Life is inherently risky. The moment you were born, you entered a world of uncertainty, of challenges, of potential for both triumph and failure. To live in fear of that risk, to retreat into the supposed safety of inaction, is to deny yourself the fullness of life's experience. It's like refusing to leave your house because of the possibility of rain, only to find yourself trapped within, watching the world pass you by. Taking calculated risks, stepping outside of your comfort zone, these are not reckless acts. They are acts of courage, of self-belief, of a willingness to embrace the unknown and see what possibilities lie beyond the horizon. Now, I'm not advocating for blind leaps of faith here. But a life lived clinging to the shore will inevitably be a life of regret, a life wondering what if, a life where the music of your potential remains forever unplayed. Now you might think it virtuous, even necessary, to work incessantly, to grind relentlessly. And while industriousness has its place, remember this: life is not simply a matter of production. Have you considered the insidious consequences of chronic overwork? The ever-present potential for burnout, for the resentment that festers when you sacrifice your well-being on the altar of productivity? The world won't fall apart if you prioritize rest, if you set boundaries. In fact, you'll likely find your work improves when you approach it from a place of genuine rejuvenation. Don't fall prey to the illusion that your worth is solely derived from your output. You are not a machine. Cultivate a sustainable rhythm of work and rest, and you'll be better equipped to face the challenges ahead. Remember, the ancient Greeks understood the importance of leisure. They saw it not as laziness, but as a necessary counterpart to productive work. So, find time for contemplation, for genuine connection with yourself and others. This is not frivolous, it's fundamental to a life well lived. Perhaps the most insidious and pervasive regret stems from the dreams we leave unrealized, the aspirations we stifle, the callings we ignore, all in the name of practicality or fear. The whisper of what if can become a deafening roar as we age, a constant reminder of the paths not taken. Now, I'm not suggesting reckless abandon or chasing fantasies, but consider this: within each of us lies a unique potential, a yearning for something more. To ignore this yearning is to live in a perpetual state of diminishment, to betray the very essence of what it means to be alive. So, dare to explore those nascent desires. What truly sets your soul on fire? It might be a creative pursuit, a yearning for adventure, or a deep-seated desire to make a difference in the world. Whatever it is, don't let it wither on the vine. Take that first step, however small, and begin to move towards a life imbued with meaning and purpose. We've covered 7 common pitfalls, 7 regrets that can cast a long shadow over our lives. Neglecting your health, mismanaging finances, ignoring personal growth, neglecting relationships, not taking risks, overworking and ignoring your dreams. These are not insurmountable obstacles, but choices we make, consciously or unconsciously, each and every day. The power to change course resides within you. Start making choices today that align with the future you envision for yourself. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Check out our other videos for more life lessons and tips.